What if I asked you right now what your body actually deficient in? Could you tell me with data, or are you just guessing? Because let's face it, guessing costs you money, it costs you time, it costs you results. And so today I plan on shedding some light on this for you. But before we get into that, I do want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by Harris Coaching Group. What if 90 days could completely transform how you look, how you think, how you perform, and most importantly, how you live? Most coaching programs out there change just one thing. Here at the Harris Coaching Group, we change everything: your body, your mindset, your relationship. Using proprietary technology, we measure exactly where you want to build a precision plan to get you where you want to be. And now through us, you can actually access physician-guided pharmaceutical-grade peptides sourced right here in the United States. No more guessing, no garbage, just real results. And so this isn't some generic coaching program. This is more of a life engineered for performance. So go to the harriscoachinggroup.com and let's get to work. And so I really wanted to get into this today because there are so many people out there that are basically throwing mud at the wall and seeing what sticks. And when you really think about it, the problem that most people default is kind of 1 to 3 broken patterns when they're trying to get healthy. It's kind of the 3 traps. I heard it referred to this the other day, and it really got me thinking about it. Kind of the 3 traps. The first one's kind of the pill push. That's trap number 1. Kind of reflexive prescribing culture, and that's where we've been for a long time. If you think about our healthcare system right now, it's not about helping to heal you. It's about managed care. They just keep pushing pills on you. Doctors are trained to reach for the medicine before understanding a person's actual story. And that's what we try to do here at Harris Coaching Group. We try to really understand where you are, where you want to be, where you've been, to really dial that in to hopefully and ideally get you off so many prescriptions. I mean, sadly today, the average adult American's on 4 different prescriptions, and we all know how this works. It starts with one thing. You're taking it. I mean, watch any TV show right now. Probably 75% of the commercials are going to be some pharmaceutical. It could be trying to heal toe fungus, but yet what are all the side effects? And then, okay, I heal my toe fungus, but this medicine caused this reaction. Now I need to have a new pill because it's causing this. And before you know it, this fixes this, but it causes this. So now it's fixing this. And you need 3 or 4 or 5 to try to get your body. And sadly, in today's medical world, and I think COVID was a big eye opener to this on that, again, that insidious relationship between pharma, between insurance, between doctors. Sadly, docs are paid to push some pills. We've seen it. When Viagra got hit, it was a cardiac medicine. It was more for the heart. What was one of the side effects? That was one of the side effects. So what did they start prescribing it to? It was kind of off-label prescription to handle guys' ED. Now, I do want to preface that right now, just thinking about it. If you are experiencing any kind of erectile dysfunction, any kind of ED symptoms, you need to get your heart checked. It could be a very big indicator of a cardiac condition that you might have. So just want to throw that in there. Wasn't planning on talking about that, but it is a very big indicator because it's all about blood flow. And if you're not getting enough blood flow, it could be a sign of something much, much more major happening in your body. But sadly, again, our docs are just pushed to just prescribe pills. Most of the time, if a doctor's going through their medical training, they're not really taught about nutrition. They're not talking about holistic medicines. It's all about pills and prescriptions and getting people on it. So it's not about healing people. It's about managing your care. And that's what I want to get people off. So against this reflective prescribing culture that you go to the doc, you say, I have a symptom for this, they're going to give you a pill for it, right? They're going to give you some antibiotic, they're going to give you some prescription. And we want to get away from that because we want to heal our bodies. Our bodies are made so magnificently through the good Lord above that they can heal themselves. They can regenerate themselves if we feed them what it needs, if we give them the right stuff. So the trap number 2 is what I call kind of the supplement shuffle. It's clients kind of coming in and they start hearing about some new herb or some new supplement, and before you know it, you got 30 or 40 supplements with no strategy, no measurement, just accumulation of multiple bottles on your counter. Like, think about I think about some of the clients I've seen in the past that had 10 to 20 different bottles of stuff with no rationale behind it. They just heard this online, or they heard this online, or and they thought, man, let me try this. And they just have all these bottles. And if you think about it, most of the time, all these different supplements aren't synergistically um, created to work together in the body. You're just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks, hopefully something right. And before you know it, again, you're accumulating it. And you're not realizing, honestly, how much money you're spending on all these bottles because, if something's, $10 here, $20 here, $30 here, another $20 here, another $50 here, you're spending a lot. And normally we can condense that down. I've been able to do it for a lot of clients, condense it down to one or two really good key foundational products that really take the place of multiple different bottles. A good example is my wife. When I started with our current company, we have a good aesthetics division and a nutritional division. And my wife was getting these chronic bronchial issues, like 3 or 4 a year. She starts sniffling, it immediately go into her chest, and then she's hacking and coughing for a month or more. And it was just happening over and over and over. And she was one of these that I was just talking about. We had probably 15, 20 bottles of stuff, ashwagandha and lion's mane and this and that and the other, all these things, echinacea, all this stuff to try to fix it. And I jokingly told her, I said, babe, we sell supplements. And she was looking at it, she was like, well, some of these are kind of expensive. I'm like, yeah, but if this one product could actually take the place of all these products, and it's actually engineered in a way to work together inside your body with great bioavailability, and we started doing the math, and actually it wasn't any more expensive than what she was already buying. But again, if we're piecemealing this together, and getting these little individual bottles that are 10, 20, $30 a piece, we don't really realize how much we're actually spending. And so she did that. We have one of our flagship products called Life Pack Nano. Man, it's an amazing product. It's like eating 2 or 3 shopping carts full of fruits and vegetables all at once. It's nanotechnology, so all the fat solubles are nano encapsulated. Really great product. Anyway, she replaced all those with this one product. And she's had one episode in the last like 15 years, just feeding her body what it needs. And so we got out of that supplement shuffle, found something that actually worked, that combined almost everything into one product. And it helped her. It helped her not having these chronic bronchial infections coming back and forth. And so you really got to think about, like, is there rationale to what you're actually doing, what you're actually um, buying? Because I know there's a lot of hot buttons out there. Advertisers are good at their job, and they just get you to this point where it's like, man, that sounds really great. I want this, I want that. And before you know it, you got 2, 3, 4 extra supplements on it. The third thing is kind of the what I call it, kind of the biohacker influencer spiral. Just this constant testing, scanning, creating new anxiety without really meaningful change in the outcomes. And it's like, you hear about this stuff where people just continue to stack all this stuff on top of each other. So they got all the supplements, and now they're using the sauna. Now they're doing cold plunging. Now they're doing dry needling. Now they're doing acupuncture. Now they're doing, like, all these things are just stacking all this stuff on top because they seen some influencer that got online and was like, hey, this is a new best thing. And before you know it, it's just not attainable for long term. Like that's one thing I try to do through our coaching program all the time is, let's take our diet. What's something that you can do long term? What's something that you can maintain fairly easily long term, to where you can get to the results that you want and keep the results that you got? And it's not some crazy arduous diet that's a pain in the ass to stay on, because that's not sustainable. We all want to live, we all want to enjoy life. I love to eat. So, like, I'm an eater, man. Like, if you put it in front of me, I'll try it. At least I might not like it, but I'll at least try it. But I love experimenting with food. I love trying new foods. When we travel, I love trying kind of the local dishes and all this stuff. And you got to live, but also food is our fuel. You got to feed your bodies what it's needing. You got to feed the machine. But again, if I'm getting a diet program, I say a diet program, a nutrition program out for somebody, I want something that people can maintain for the rest of their life. And again, it's not something that you dread. It's something that's fairly easy to maintain for the long term. And again, we're not just stacking other things. And now I'm not saying that there isn't benefits to I love dry sauna. I love a dry sauna. I love just getting in there and sweating. I don't do it every day. Like I might do it once or twice a week, just kind of flush everything out, just get a good sweat going, feel great. But again, if you're trying to stack all these things because the next new biohack has come out and it's really hard to maintain, you're not going to do it. Let's be real. You're busy. Your life's already crazy enough. You can't just continue to stack all this stuff on top of each other. Or again, with the supplement shuffle, what happens is half time people forget to take them. Like they have all these bottles, they forget to take the daggum supplements. And so really what's it all about? And ultimately guessing is the real enemy. It's the real enemy to what we're doing. And ultimately, like I like to get down to a point where, again, if we're talking about this PRISM device right here that we have, one of the things that I love to go into is, again, guessing costs you money. It costs you time. It costs you results. Now, if you can have a device like this at your house where you can literally put your finger on it, scan yourself in 15 seconds to see the concentration of antioxidants you have in your body, where since we're measuring tissue, you're actually absorbing what we're measuring absorption, not just consumption. A lot of people are consuming a lot, but what's happening? It's literally in one end, out the other. That's what's happening. So guessing is the real enemy. Kind of, if you think about kind of the core idea I want to get around is like optimization without measurement is expensive guessing. Like that's what I want you to remember. Literally, optimization without measurement is expensive guessing because you don't know. We don't actually know. Like we can make ourselves believe that we're feeling a difference, but is it actually making a difference? Right now, one interesting study that just came out with this PRISM device that I have behind me, and I just have that attached to the wall. Normally, it's on your counter. But what's interesting about that is a Stanford study just came out, and they just correlated high PRISM scores. So, what's the difference of people's chronological age to their biological age? That and depending on how they scored on the PRISMs. So, optimum on this device is over 550, and they noticed after Stanford got done with their study that the average person with a high scanner score had a 4.2 difference between their biological age and their chronological age. So that means someone with a high nutritional score, they were aging slower. You're living younger longer. And that's what this podcast is all about. Live younger longer. That's what we all want to do. Well, by getting nutrition and being able to measure it, now we can show through clinicals and everything else that's out there that your biological age is actually slowing. I mean, that's phenomenal news. I'm 50 years old. I don't want to be aging faster. I want to age slower biologically. Like I want my biological clock to get slower and slower and slower. So when I'm 70, 80, 90 years old, I still have the health and vitality that I do today. So, let's talk about like measuring first. That's what it actually looks like in the world. The tissue level antioxidant status. It's not just blood panels that look for kind of what's normal for your age. That's really what blood panels do. They say, okay, you're 50 years old. Like for myself, I'm 5'9", I weigh 185 pounds. I'm 50 years old. I go through my blood panels. They'll be like, okay, for people that are 50 years old, kind of in your demographic, what's normal? I don't want what's normal. Like I want to age slower. And again, because we're measuring tissue, it's non-invasive. It's 15 seconds. It's simple, easy to use. What's beautiful about that device, and I'll put links in the comments to some of this if you want to check it out for yourself or even get one for yourself, that one family can utilize one device. You just make an individual profile in the app. And so whether it's your kids, I don't know about you, but I want to know the nutritional health of my kids. So whether it's your kids, your spouse, your parents, whoever. And again, if I'm talking to older people and I say older, I'm talking to my demographic, 50 and up. You might not care about your supplementation. You might not think about it. You might not care about it. You might have it on a pay no mind list. Let me tell you who does care. It's your kids. Your kids want you to age well. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be a burden to my kids. Like I want to be aging healthy to where I don't have much health problems, to where I'm a burden to them and they feel they have to take care of me. Your kids care how you age. So if for nothing else, do it for them. but you all should want to age younger longer, and you should also want to not be a slave to prescriptions, because most prescriptions, if we're real honest, most of them make us feel like garbage. So that's really the distinction I want to make a difference of with a PRISM type device. You're optimizing versus blood work. You're in range. Yeah, you're in the normal range. Oh, that's great. Now, if you look at my BMI levels, being 5'9", 185 pounds, even though I'm fairly, I'm fairly ripped up, I'm obese, right? According to BMI, I'm obese, but I'm sitting about 10, 11% body fat. But yet, because of my height and my weight, I'm obese. So again, ranges aren't really what you would think they would be. In the BMI range, they're going to look at me as obese, even though I'm sitting about 11% body fat. That's crazy. So again, I want to optimize. I don't want to guess. I want to measure. And that's what I love about our program, what we do through our program. Like, this is a part of the program. I want measurement. I want data so that we can correct, and then we can know the direction we're going. It's like having a destination on that map versus kind of guessing, saying, I think we're going in the right direction. I want to know we're going in the right direction. I don't want, if you think about most lab ranges right now, they're kind of built off a population that's overweight, that's tired, that's medicated. So if you think about the normal, it's a low bar. Now, I just heard this, and I haven't confirmed it, but I just heard about this from a buddy of mine that has had some heart issues, that they had just lowered what's considered high blood pressure. So I think way back when they started measuring it, it might have been in the 60s or something like that. High blood pressure was considered like anything over 160, and then they dropped it. And now, what he was telling me the other day, and again, I have not confirmed this, but they want to make the new standard 110. Let me tell you, on any given day, I might have high blood pressure, depending on what I eat, what I'm doing, whether I had caffeine, whatever. 110 is a ridiculously low number. But why do they keep lowering the standards or that bar, whether it's cholesterol, high blood pressure, etc.? Because if they say, oh, high blood pressure now is 110 and you're over that, we need to get you on this prescription. We need to get you on high blood pressure medicine. We need to get you on cholesterol medicine. We need to get you on all these other medicines. So again, we can optimize our body. We don't have to guess, and we don't have to go into these ranges that are, like I said, literally based off a population that is tired, overweight, not healthy, and you're kind of getting into this. And that's where, like I said, this PRISM device really replaces guessing with real data. And again, if you have one at your house, you can use it daily and kind of go through it, and it'll create, you can get very detailed in your profile and kind of see where you're at. I know one time when I was traveling a lot, had a lot of projects going on, and my scanner score started dipping. Literally the only difference was my sleep. And so I could see how my sleep quality was affecting my scanner score. That was eye-opening. Okay, now it's kind of more conscious of how sleep is so important to us. So we want to get on this. So, when you really think about where we're going, I want clarity. I want direction, like I was saying. I'm not looking to guess. I spent a lot of money, a lot of time throughout my life guessing, thinking, hoping something was working. And again, it's very eye-opening with the amount of people that I've scanned over the years that were supplementing a lot or thought they were eating right, that scan low. Or I just scanned a couple not too long ago where the wife was taking all kind of supplements. The husband was taking just one or two, and he actually was higher than the wife. What was that showing? It was showing that a lot of the stuff she was taking was not being absorbed by the body. It was going through it. She was passing it. So optimization. So, really get into it. And also I wanted to have kind of a segment in here, kind of about peptides, just a real quick thing about that, because it's kind of like the whisper, not the sledgehammer. Like peptides are really a signaling molecule working with your body's biology, like with the biology instead of overriding it. Right? It's working with it. It's working synergistically with it. And so if you think about a couple categories that are very important to most people, recovery, inflammation support, kind of helping your body repair its own signaling. So I know I had phenomenal results with BP 157 and TB 500 when I ripped my lat in January. I literally, from right here, like it just tore apart, and not tore apart fully, but it it pulled. I've literally, I mean, I can fit 2 fingers in kind of a hole that used to be where my muscle connected right there. And I had a similar injury on my other side about 5 years ago. Ironically, both deadlifting. So I guess I need to stop doing heavy deadlifts. But um, I healed in probably half the time by being on this compound that was, it helped to create new blood vessels in the area, knock down the inflammation. Really, all about that, helping my body repair itself, helping that repair signaling happen. And so I love that compound. Anytime I have some issues with my knees, my shoulders, I definitely go on around to those peptides, and it helps a lot. It helps my body signal to repair itself like it's supposed to. Something else that's really big on most people's mind is anything cognitive or nervous system support. There's a lot of talk about NAD right now, just for that cognitive support. It's really good for you. If people don't want injectables, we do have supplements that are really good. Like we carry one of the only supplements. It's a supplement called Youth. It is scanner certified, so it's money back guaranteed to increase your score. But that product also, it's one of the only products out there that have a real time functional MRI study as far as brain activity while you're on it. It increases the brain activity, keeping our brain younger longer. That's important. And again, one of my biggest things that I want to get a little deeper into is mitochondrial support. So, we talk about mitochondrial support. It's really about cellular energy production. That's really what we're talking to. Now, I do want to preface this as well. We are all a study of one. Every single one of us who are watching this right now, we all have different fingerprints. We all have different DNA. Everyone's a study of one. Some people respond very well and very fast to it. Some people not as much. It's really kind of, again, optimization, dialing in what works for the individual, because we're all magnificently and uniquely made by our creator. Not one of us is the same. And so, again, what works for one person's biology won't be identical for another. And that's, again, why coaching and measurement matter more than just copying a friend's protocol. And sadly, that's what a lot of people are doing right now, especially when you get into this whole peptide debate. If you see something on there that says for research purposes only, it's not being made by a 503A compound pharmacy. You're not getting some of the regulations and some of the efficacyness that you need to. So you need to be careful. I've coached a lot of people and they're like, oh, I've tried those peptides, didn't really work. And I'm like, where'd you get them? I got them off TikTok. Well, how'd you know how to dose it? How'd you know how to mix it? Well, I looked for something online and it told me X. Now, listen, again, if you're injecting something into your body, or even if you're taking a supplement, you're putting it in your body, you need to know where it comes from. You need to know where it's coming from. You don't want some dirty product from China, or you don't want to mix it to where you're overdosing yourself. Because if we get into something like the GLP-1, it slows digestion. That's why you feel fuller longer. Now, used correctly and safely, you can get great effects off it. And again, it's not something you should be on long term. You should get to the results. And again, through coaching, that's what we try to do, is once people get to kind of their goal weight, to help them maintain that naturally. But if you overdose yourself, you can literally slow your digestion system to a crawl. Or in extreme cases, it just kind of almost stops. That ain't healthy. That's not healthy at all. So again, you want to make sure that you're getting good, clean product. Everything that I have access to is sourced right here in the United States. And it's dosed properly. You know exactly how to use it. Again, going through a clinician where you're actually getting that kind of advice. But again, mitochondrial function is very important how we age. A lot of times as we start aging, our mitochondrial function is going down. And that's why we have that kind of the signs and symptoms of aging, of fatigue. You're tired all the time. You don't have stamina. You don't have the energy to do things. Like a little kid, like being able to turn on and off that energy, like they could be going 100 miles an hour 1 minute and napping the next. That's how we should be. Like that's our body functioning like it's supposed to. As we age, a lot of those genes, and we go into epigenetics, a lot of those genes, how they're firing is just not as good as it was when we were young. Like I try to say things in really plain terms. So again, the expression of our genes over time changes. And so the expression of some of those genes that helped us with that youth and vitality, they're just not expressing themselves to their full potential, depending on age, weight, environment, smoking, all these kind of things. It all affects it as we age. And so again, one of the things that we always try to go into, and how I can operate at the level that I go into, for years, I've taken one of our products, and this is actually the product right here. It's called Vitality. This is a product that does go after 53 genes in the body that target the three main areas that people complain about as they get older: energy and stamina levels, mental acuteness, and libido. Those three main areas. So when I start marketing it, I used to joke, it gives you the energy and stamina to enjoy the libido and the mind to remember it. Like, who doesn't want those three areas to be really good? And this was a great product. I still take it to this day. And it's why I've been able to keep up my competitiveness. Like, I've been a CrossFit coach for 15 years now. I can keep up with people half my age because this helps to reset the mitochondria in the genes, so they're functioning like they're supposed to. Now, as we go into the peptide debate, one of the things that that's interesting. Now, again, this is a good option if people don't want to take injections of peptides. It is a phenomenal option. Now, one of my personal favorites when it goes into the peptide world is one called MOT-C. MOT-C is a great peptide for this. Some of the stuff that it really helps to do, if you think about, it's a particularly interesting because it's actually encoding by the mitochondrial DNA. So it acts as a metabolic signaling molecule that is associated with AMPK activation, glucose metabolism, stress adaptation, as well as exercise-related responses. So it's keeping that ATP high, it's helping to generate it and keep it high, keeping that mitochondrial function high. So what if someone's interested basically in mitochondrial efficiency, metabolic flexibility, glucose utilization, exercise performance, aging, and maintaining muscle function? It's a phenomenal peptide that I recommend a lot for people. Well, what's interesting about this Vitality product, when we talk about kind of the exercise performance and glucose utilization, that's one thing we did clinicals on. You basically can go longer, harder, and recover quicker. All right, you're not burning out as fast. So it's really awesome. Now, if you think about kind of what mitochondria will do, think about fatigue, brain fog, slow recovery. Some of the symptoms is kind of a root sign of what mitochondrial dysfunction is doing in the body. So kind of mitochondria is the cell's energy factories that most modern stressors, like, again, poor sleep is a big one for most people, chronic stress, environmental load, it degrades the efficiency on how it works. So again, that's why we want kind of training does right supports mitochondrial density and the efficiency, not just aesthetics. So I used to know a Hollywood trainer, and he would tell me straight up, when I'd ask him advice about how to get lean or kind of cut up, and he would say, look, I'm all about aesthetics. I'm not about nutrition. I have to help people get on screen in 6 weeks. And so he was more all about aesthetics. For me, I'm interested in longevity, vitality, mobility. Those are my big things. So, again, I want to help your body function correctly by feeding it what it needs. What's interesting about this product, there's 3 natural ingredients. It's pomegranate, ginseng, is non-stimulant part of ginseng, and cordyceps mushrooms. It's just the correct dose and part of that plant that has the greatest effect on the mitochondria and the genes. That's what's amazing about it. So again, whether people are going to go down the peptide route, the supplement route, I combine both. But again, mine are very targeted. I don't have a million products that I'm trying and have 20, 30, 40 bottles and 10 different peptides I'm using. It's very, very targeted depending on what I'm looking to do and the results I'm looking to get. And again, by feeding it. Now, I do want to put this disclaimer out, and I'm actually going to make a reel about it and put it out there as well. But if you're ordering your supplements online, especially through Amazon, you have to be very, very careful. Even if it's a name brand, there's a lot of counterfeits coming from overseas, a lot of counterfeits coming out of China, and the bottles look identical. I mean, they're good at their job. They look identical. But if you were to break them out and really do clinicals on something that you got from the source and something you got on, because they have so many factories, so many different things coming in, you don't know where you're getting that product from. And so you got to be very, very sure if you're ordering supplements online. Again, you have to be super careful if you're doing it on Amazon, because it's a good probability that at some point you're going to get a fake. It's going to be counterfeit, and you're going to think it's exactly the same thing. So try to order from a source, order through someone you know. That's why I love, that's why I love direct sales in our business model, because you know exactly where it's coming from. All right, it's coming straight from the source with clinical backed products that really show the effect that you're looking for. And so again, that's where we get targeted. And that's why that device is so great, because you would be shocked how many people are taking a lot of supplements and or thinking they're eating right, or a combination of both, and they scan very low. Because again, we're getting less nutrients out of our food, just the way they've raped all the nutrients out of our soil, and the soil never rests, and they're just constantly churning out food, and they're not getting the plants aren't producing the nutrients as they used to. And that's why when I was a kid, they used to say you need 2 to 3 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And nowadays it's literally 9 to 11. Who's going to eat that much? Most people aren't. That's why you need a supplement. Okay, then what supplement? And you deserve to know if it's working, right? If you're spending money on something. So let's talk about a couple of quick, easy things that you can do tonight or today, starting right now. Prioritize sleep. That trainer buddy of mine used to joke, because I used to be horrible about my sleep. He's like, sleep is to the body what oven is to the cookie dough. That's where all the change happens. That's where all your recovery is happening. That's where you get rested and revitalized, and your body's healing itself. Like sleep, you gotta prioritize sleep over sleep hacks. Like, you need good, solid sleep. Like, sleep's a big thing for most people. Get curious about measurement before adding more inputs. Before you start adding on 3, 4, 5, 6 other things, like, get serious about measurement. Kind of know where you're at, know where you're going. And that's why if I'm training someone, it is a part of I will not coach you if we don't measure you, period. Like, I'm just not going to do it, because I want you to get the best results possible. And if we don't have any data, then we're guessing. And I don't want to be another guy online that's just guessing, throwing stuff at you, getting you to spend money, and you not getting the results you want. I want you to make sure you're getting the results you want, and you're able to maintain the results that you want. That's huge. And so another fun thing you can do is audit your own supplement cabinet. Can you explain why you take each one of them? Like, truly explain why. Or did you just hear about it? You just thought it was a good idea. You're just kind of guessing and hoping that it's doing what it's supposed to. So, again, where most people are in today's world, they kind of fall into a lot of categories. Like, if you think about kind of some pillars, fat loss is big. I mean, we're the richest country in the world. We're also the fattest country in the world. Like, we got to get our nutrition right. Being overweight, being obese is one of the major things that's causing all the healthcare issues in our country. It's killing us. Literally, it's killing us, and it's shortening our lifespan. So we need to make sure we get our weight under control. I helped one of my clients the other day. He's been training with us for about 9 months now, but about the 6-month mark, he was almost 40% body fat, and now he's down under 20. And, it was funny, because he's lost quite a bit of weight as well. He's lost about 25 pounds. And he picked up my weighted vest the other day, and he's like, "Man, how heavy is this?" I said, "It's 20 pounds. And he's like, "Man, it feels heavy." I'm like, "Yeah, you used to carry that around every day, all day." Like, people don't realize how much 20 pounds of fat, 30 pounds of fat is. It's a lot. It's like carrying around a daggum toddler all time. It compounds, and it makes a big difference in your body over time. So you really got to watch that. If you think about mental acuteness, being cognitive in our older age, that's huge. Like, I want my mind to be firing sharp in my 70s, 80s, 90s. I don't want to decline in some of that kind of stuff. Like, I want to make sure that my mind is functioning at a high level. And again, your brain needs antioxidants to protect it against oxidative stress free radical damage. What's this device measuring? Antioxidant status in your body. So again, if you're interested in cognitive health, that device is a good measurement tool for that. And again, also strength and mobility. Like, I want to be able, again, to be moving around like I am today in 20, 30, 40 years. Mobility is everything. People take mobility for granted until they don't have it. All right. We don't think about it until it's gone. And my mother-in-law the other day watched my wife bend down and pick up something off the floor. And that was literally her comment was, "Man, I wish I could do that." Because she can't. She spends 90% of her time in her chair because most of her life, she abused alcohol and smoked most of her life, didn't take care of her nutrition, and her body is paying for it. You know, again, we might not feel it today, but what are we going to feel like if we don't make a change today? What is that compound effect going to be over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Again, 15 years ago, she was fully mobile. Now she spends 90% of her time in her chair, hurts all the time, has a lot of health issues. So again, strength and mobility. And again, that's where my coaching program kind of goes. We go through a 90-day method kind of as a structured way to apply everything that we just discussed. Peptides aren't for everybody. I understand that. Now, foundational nutrition is for everybody. Measurement is for everybody. Making sure that you're feeding your body what it needs so it performs like it should is for everybody. It's all about that. And again, you can go to harriscoachinggroup.com. You can click one of the tabs to take a assessment, a readiness assessment, kind of see where you're at. It's free. Go try it out. And so we want to make sure that you do it. And we kind of want to, again, stop shouting at your body. Like, we need to be listening to our body, listening to what it's saying. Our body signals, like, pain's not always a bad thing. Pain is a signal that something is off, that we need to do something. I want to kind of give a quick breakdown of some really important things that we can do long-term for our body and to really get us to where we want to be. And again, I just wanted to let you know that this episode is brought to you by our group, Harris Coaching Group, where, you know, again, what if 90 days could completely transform how you look, how you think, how you perform, and how you live? You know, again, most coaching programs out there kind of focus on one thing. We like to concentrate on the whole picture, the whole level where we're going to, whether it's your body, your mindset, even relationships, because as we're functioning better, our relationships get better. And again, we do use our proprietary PRISM technology where we measure exactly where and where we need to build a precision plan for your body. But now also through us, again, if interested, we do have access to pharmaceutical grade physician guided peptides that are sourced right here in the United States. You're going to have a 30-minute conversation with a clinician to make sure that there's no issues, no contradictions, no problems, and you know exactly what you're doing, how to take it, and that is dosed correctly. Again, there's no guessing, there's no garbage, just real results. It's not a generic coaching program, guys. It's for a life that's engineered for performance in all areas of your life. So again, go to harriscoachinggroup.com. You can fill out a readiness assessment, and then we can go from there. But with that, guys, take care. Thanks for viewing the Live Younger Longer podcast. Really appreciate it. Is there any value to you? Please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. It's about to be on iHeart as well. Please leave us a review. Let us know. I love to read your comments. I love to interact with you guys. And please subscribe to the page, subscribe to the YouTube page, support us. Really appreciate it. And if this is a value, share it. And so with that, take care. God bless. We'll see you next time.